Hey guys, John Jr. here. I'm bringing you guys an NCP Nimbus video. Let me get some things out of the way before we get into this video. Obviously APA is going to be dropping on Saturday. I don't know when this video is going to be dropping. I'm recording it right after I record APA, so that's fun. But obviously this is a new season. This is the new Wi-Fi season, and just get a couple of things out of the way. Make sure to leave a like if you guys enjoyed. You guys are insane. You guys have got me to like 325 subs in the past couple of days. I hit 200 in January. I'm going to be recording a Q&A soon about that. I know, get on me about it. I've been really lazy. I've had my girlfriend over. I've had matches to record, to play, all that. Get on me about it. I recorded it once and then my computer crashed and it didn't save, so get on me about that. But also, I asked for 15 likes on my APA match versus Deathly. It got 128 or 130 or something mind-boggling. So thank you guys so much for that. I go over that a little bit more in my APA video. Obviously, that's going to get some more views, so a lot more of you guys are going to see that. But hopefully, you guys will stick around here for this NCP season. This is my personal league, and if you guys want to come be a big fan, please come join the Discord down below. It would mean the world to see you guys support not only me but all the other coaches. There are 16 of my good friends in this league, and I'm really happy about that. I've made some great people through Owen, helping get some people in this league, so we got some great people. But the first week here is going to be against Tony. Tony is a really good friend of mine and is my typical Jinner. He usually gins all my mons for me. These past couple times, Mid, Jesse, and Rick, Doctor. His real name's not Rick. I call him Rick. But they've been ginning for me, so shout out to them. But Tony is the main one who usually helps me out. So big shout out to him. He's an absolute great guy, and please go check out his channel. Obviously, down in the description below, under the timestamp for when the match starts, which you can skip to right now if you would like. But with all of that being said, we're gonna go ahead and be getting into this team. Why I'm bringing it, what I'm bringing, why I'm bringing, what I'm bringing. Let's get into it. So Tony's team is looking real fierce. He's got a Latias, which is one of his Z-Mons, Melodic, Porygon 2, Crocodile, Ninetales, which is his other Z-Mon, Bioplume, Mega Diancie, Mandibuzz, Delmise, Magnezone, and Chinchino. As far as the 6 Mons that Tony is going to be bringing, I highly think that Tony is going to be bringing Lati, Melodic, Mega Diancie, Mandibuzz. I think those 4 are set in stone, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think the last 2 slots can be tossed up between a couple of mons. I think Magnezone is really likely because Skarmory walls a lot of his mons. I think Crocodile is very likely. I think P2 is very likely. I think Delmise is possible, but I don't see Delmise as much because of the Volcarona and the Decidueye. So more so just P2, Crocodile, and Magnezone there. So those are the mons that I think he's bringing, and here's what I'm bringing and why we are bringing it. Let me pull up my MacBook real quick because it's actually been a good minute since I've made this team. So if my password would enter, that'd be great. Should have done this before the recording. My bad, guys. But our first mon here is gonna be. Oh, I deleted the note. Hold on, I gotta go in my trash because I've already played this. I'm recording this this Team Builder post, but I'm not going to be spoiling anything for you guys. So the first mon we do have here is Skarmory. I like Skarmory quite a lot in this matchup. I think it walls so many of his threats and really helps us against a lot of his mons, like P2 even, with Taunt, things like that. So I thought that starting with Skarmory this week would be really nice. So we do have Roost, Taunt, Iron Head, and Defog. Defog to keep those hazards away for our good boys in the back, like Sneasel, like Mega Gallade, like Mega Gallade doesn't care about hazards, but like Decidueye, things like that. We have Iron Head for obviously the Mega Diancie. It'd be stupid to have a Mega Diancie check without a Steel move. We have Taunt for specifically the Porygon 2 as well as the Mandibuzz, I do believe. And then we have Roost for longevity. We are forced to run Shed Shell because of the Magnezone. I really highly believe that. And then as far as our EVs go, pretty standard stuff this week. We have enough speed to outspeed the Mandibuzz. It has a tiny bit of speed investment because I really want to get some fast taunts off. And then we dump the rest into Spadef and not get two-shot by Porygon 2 Thunderbolts, which is really nice. And then obviously max HP, and that's what we're rocking with for our Skarmory, Rust Wing. Next up here, it's my boy, Kobe. I'm really excited to use Sneasel this season. Sneasel is a very fun mod, and a mod that I've actually been looking forward to using. Before we go any further, I should say we made some transactions. Going into next week, We dropped Tentacruel and we dropped Nihilego. Nihilego, I looked at the matchups. Nihilego never had a good matchup, man. I looked at like the next 4 or 5 weeks. I wasn't gonna bring Nihilego to any of them. There was no way. Nihilego has a horrible matchup on the next like 5 weeks. So I was like, nah, we're dropping this. We're getting a physical wall because we don't have a physical wall outside of Skarmory. We don't have a physical wall that resists fire. So we picked up Toxapex and we picked up Porygon Z, which I've wanted to use Porygon Z for so long, man. So I'm so excited for that. But I got off a little bit off on a tangent there. But Sneasel here, this set is really simple, really simple. I almost brought SD with Life Orb or Expert Belt over Ice Punch, but I really felt like Choice Band, just that immediate damage was really important. We have enough speed to outspeed everything that we can, which is his entire team. Max attack with 36 in HP. Choice Band obviously gonna hurt. His switch-ins to knock off are melodic. His switch-ins do not exist. We have Ice Punch for that 100% accuracy, Icicle Crash for that power, Metal Claw for the Mega Diancie to hopefully catch him off guard. And Sneasel, I told Owen before the match, Obo, that Sneasel, I'd be shocked if it didn't get at least 3 kills. Sneasel can really just come in at any point, click knockoff, claim a KO. Click knockoff, do 50%. Click knockoff, it's like, it's insane. I love this mon so much. I love it so much. And I really want to draft Weavile at some point, but I really think it's one of the worst tier ones. But that's a story for a different day. I still want to try it nonetheless. So next up here we do have Prince Belair, the Mega Gallade. Our Prince has his crown, hopefully after this game. But pretty simple stuff. You guys know that I hate to speed tie, so we are not speed tying with the Mega Diancie or the Mega Lottie, or regular Lottie this game, because I felt like it wasn't necessary. I felt like the rest of our team could deal with it pretty nicely. So instead, we have enough speed to outspeed Crocodile, which I do know is pronounced Crocodile, by the way. But close combat is pretty good in this game. Obviously, he's got things like P2, like Magnezone, like Crocodile, that do not appreciate our close combat. We have Shadow Sneak for the Lottie specifically. I felt like it was going to be really nice to catch that Lottie off guard. And we do have Swords Dance to get the +2. He does have the Mega Gallade check in Mana Buzz, so I felt like having Swords Dance and hopefully getting rocks up, being able to OHKO that boy. Even though I didn't bring rocks, ignore that fact. Being able to OHKO that boy, getting a little bit of chip on him would be really nice. And then I was sitting there looking and I was like, well, what are the things that resist us here with close combat Shadow Sneak? And it was like, I mean, Delmise can kind of eat us, like, I guess, like, Lottie, I guess, like, if we need a big hit off, it can eat the close combat. So I just went knockoff with our last move. It definitely could have been something else. It definitely could have been Zin. It definitely could have been Sub. It could have been Wish. Like, there were a lot of moves that I, like, debated in that last slot, but I put knockoff just in case the Delmise decided to show its dome. But next up here, we do got Decidueye, and this is a very specific set, apparently. I don't know quite what for, but we're going to find out right now. Decidueye helps us with both the Melodic and the Latias, which we both struggled with immensely other than Decidueye. We have Leaf Blade to 2-hit KO the Melodic, we have U-Turn for momentum and obviously to hit the Lottie. We have Toxic for the P2 and Roost for longevity, which is really nice. Let me see here. Do I not have any specific stats? We have enough speed to outspeed Melodic and the 12 speed Mana Buzz. And then we have enough defense to live one knockoff from the Crocodile, I do believe, and then fire off a mean U-Turn or a mean Leaf Blade. And then we dump the rest into Spadef. I do believe enough attack to 2-hit KO something. Maybe it's 2-hit KO Diancie. I'm not quite sure. But it's a very cool set and I really like it. I wish I could tell you exactly what it was for. I think it was to 2-hit KO Diancie. Maybe it was to 2-hit KO full Fizz Def Melodic. That sounds more likely. That sounds more reasonable because it's not like Decidueye doesn't hit hard. So that sounds more reasonable to me. And Decidueye really had 4 move slot syndrome this game very badly. I really wanted Shadow Sneak, I really wanted Spirit Shackle, I really wanted Sucker Punch, I really wanted Protect. There were so many other moves that I wanted. I wish I could have 10 move slots for Decidueye, but unfortunately we're limited to 4, so this is what we went with this game. But next up here we went with Sylveon. Sylveon absolutely ate him. We have Hyper Voice, Heal Bell, Toxic, Wish. Wish I brought Protect over Toxic, to be completely honest. I felt like we could have beat things out easier, like the P2 if I brought that, and that was just something that I noticed after I ginned it, and I was like, or after I got in the game, and I was like, whatever, I guess. But we have enough defense to live 2 Psyshocks from the Lottie. I think Life Orb, I don't remember on that specifically. Enough Spadef to live. I think we were actually leftover Spadef. Enough special attack to do 50% to a +1 Lottie, so we force him into Roost range or recover range or whatever he wants to bring, and he can't just Calm Mind in our face. And then we have 4 speed for that extra speed creep because those were leftover EVs and the rest in special defense there. Wish I could talk, that'd be awesome. And then our last mon, sorry for that. Our last mon is going to be Gudra, Matt Goo, who you already know. I think it's here. I think the Gudra has to be the last mon in order to help with the Magna Zone. It was really here just to help with the Magna Zone. And we didn't have a switch into regular Ninetales, actually. If you look at my team, regular Ninetales came and clicked buttons against me. I'm pretty sure it got Sludge Wave. Could be wrong about that, but it just clicked buttons. Even Sylveon didn't appreciate it. But if we go AV, we can lift 2 Moonblast from the 252 Diancie. Sap Sipper isn't needed, so we are going to go with Gooey. We can go EQ, Draco, and Bolt Beam, and that hits basically everything. We can lift 2 Psyshocks from the Lottie. We can Oko the Lottie with the Draco if he's no HP. And we have the same speed as our Decidueye with the rest in Spadef. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the team that we're rocking with for Week 1 of the NCP. If you are hyped for your Portland Nightshaders, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. And we're going to go ahead and hop into this match against Tony, guys. Make sure to check him out in the description below. And I will be back in just 1 second with the match. Alright guys, so we're here with the match. I just woke up, sorry if I look like trash. I recorded this video already once, and then I left a stinking video playing in the background. And for some reason, I don't have the desktop audio muted on my Discord, even though I literally never record desktop audio. So now it's done, it'll never happen again, we're in a good spot. But you can see the team that Tony brings. He does bring the Chinchino instead of, what was it? Chinchino instead of Magnezone, which blew me back. Our Shed Shell and Skarmory was completely useless, and we just were basically without an item. And he also brought, what was it, Porygon 2 instead of something? I don't remember instead of what. Porygon 2, it was instead of something that we expected. Like, it wasn't a big deal, but I did kind of, it was like, when he didn't bring Magnezone and he brought Chinchino instead, it was like, well, great. We actually have nothing that outspeeds Chinchino, because we didn't speed creep our Sneasel. So, let's go ahead and jump in here. I decided a good lead would be Sylveon. You look at his team, you look at Sylveon. Sylveon has a good matchup against literally any Mon that isn't the, like, Porygon 2 or even the Chinchino, because it's faster, and he does end up leading the Chinchino. I was really worried that this was banded, because if it was banded, he did like 90% with Tail Slap, so I was super scared about that. So I'm going to decide to switch out here, and I'm going to go into Skarmory. Obviously, Skarmory resists whatever this thing wants to do. If it wants to go for U-turn, if it wants to go for knockoff, Tail Slap, what's the other move? He got another move, I can't even remember what it's called, but he goes for U-turn, and we do 4 times resist that, which is fine by me. And I say we resist knockoff, but like, we have Shed Shell, so I don't care if we get Shed Shell knocked off. So he's gonna go in a Crocodile here, and I was like, okay, well, this is a fine position for us to be in. We could taunt this thing, but I think I'm gonna switch out here back into Sylveon to see what he wants to do. We can lift 2 EQs from this boy, and we are gonna be in a good position here to just click Hyper Voice as he goes for taunt. So that's absolutely fine by me. I'm in a position to where I can just click Hyper Voice and click buttons and be in a good spot. He's gonna switch out here. He doesn't have a great switch into this Hyper Voice. Maybe Specially Defensive Melodic or Specially Defensive P2, as he does reveal to be right here. We're gonna click Hyper Voice, and we're gonna do about 20-ish% to this Porygon 2, fine by me. And I want you guys to know, I clicked Toxic like 5 times, and I was like, why the heck is this not working? I forgot we were taunted. So we're going to swap out here. We're kind of forced to, and we're going to go to Rustwing, expecting either a Recover or a Toxic here, as he does reveal Toxic, so that's fine by me. Rustwing is out, and I decided no matter what he goes into, Taunt is a pretty good play. If he switches out, we taunt whatever comes in and make sure that it has to attack what's in front of it, or switch out, and he does decide to go out into the Lottie, so that's fine. I'm fine with getting a Taunt off on this thing. It can't Calm Mind in our face, it can't Recover, so I'm absolutely fine by this, or with this. But we're going to switch out here. As he switches out, he goes into Ariana Grande, best stinking Mega Diancie nickname I've ever seen, by the way. Beautiful Mega Diancie nickname, but he's going to switch out there as I switch out my Mega Diancie counter and go into Sylveon. I'm not sure why I sent a Mega Diancie on that, but I'm going to swap out back into Skarmory because I was like, well, shoot, we just had our Mega Diancie counter out. We'll go back into it, I guess. We'll go back into it. So maybe he expected me to switch out there, so good play if he did, but he's going to Mega here, obviously, and this is scary. This is so scary. Mega Diancie is so small, by the way, but he's going to go for Diamond Storm here, and I was like, okay, this is going to do what, like, I looked at the calc, I was like, oh, about 30%, no big deal. He does literally half to us. He does 82 out of 164 damage and gets the defense raise. So at this point, I was like, okay, so he is ridiculously physically invested. I didn't know how much so, but after the match, he showed me his team or some of it, and he was max attack. I didn't expect that. So our Skarmory, that was our answer to the Diancie, and then we were specially defensive, no Fizz Def. he's gonna get bodied by the thing he's meant to counter, which sucks. Right here, it was a roll to kill me. It was a roll to kill me with Diamond Storm. So I was sitting, I'm sorry if you heard my phone vibrate. So I was sitting in a position to where I was like, okay, well, we could roost off the damage and eventually win the roll war, or we could just go for Iron Head here and get some damage off. I wish I clicked Iron Head. I'm so stupid for not clicking Iron Head because something came in and revenge killed if we did click Iron Head. But I decided to click Roost as he does go Diamond Storm, and he does a ton of damage to us, dude. We live on 1. I decided, Roost is probably the best play. We'll play this roll game. It looks like, it's about a mid-roll, so unless he gets a high roll, a higher roll, we'll be fine. Like, the mid-roll was about 87-ish, so he's going to go for Diamond Storm here again, and he's going to get a little bit higher than the mid-roll there, and he's going to take us out. Obviously, I didn't think he was max attack, so it might have been, like, maybe he got a low roll the first time. I don't remember. Basically, we wasted Skarmory. So we're going to go into JYT here because Sylveon is really the only Mon, in my eyes, that can come in here. We could have went into Goodra, I guess. We could have went into Goodra for sure, scared him out with an Iron Tail, but in my eyes, I was like, okay, Sylveon can come in, we can live one of whatever he wants to throw at us, and we can click Hyper Voice and do about 60 to him, assuming he's speed invested and not HP invested. So he's going to go Diamond Storm again. This is going to do about 70 to us, 70%, as we are going to click Hyper Voice. That does about 80%. Holy crap. We're going to click Hyper Voice. We're going to get some big damage off on this thing. We do about 60% to it. Sitting in a fine position. We get Leftovers Recovery. And if you guys remember, at the beginning of the video, when I led Sylveon, I said, Sylveon's got such a good matchup. It eats his team. The only thing on his team that really deals with it really well is the Specialty Defensive P2. And maybe the Specialty Defensive Melodic. I didn't even look at the calcs. But I was like, okay, so here 100% of the time, Goodra has no purpose in this game. You look at his team, you look at Goodra, it's like, man, what are you doing here, Goodra? I shouldn't have even brought you. You were here for the Magnezone, and Magnezone's gone. So I was looking at his team, and I was like, alright, I'm ready to switch out to Goodra, but I wanted to make sure I didn't have Protect first, because I wanted to see if I had the ability to click Protect for Leftovers Recovery. I clicked Fight, and I dropped my DS, and we clicked the A button. So Sylveon was hyper voicing again, and that's the first time I have ever misclicked in my life. I didn't drop the DS for it to like break or anything, but I dropped it like that, you know what I mean, and clicked the A button on accident. So Sylveon's gonna go down there, which sucks so bad because I really feel like we could have got it in, got some wishes up, got some heal bells off, got some hyper voices off. I felt like it ate this matchup, but we're gonna go into Goodra here, and he's gonna switch out here. So Goodra was gonna be the play over Sylveon. That was my mistake. He goes into the specially defensive P2, which makes perfect sense, as we're just gonna go for the Ice Beam here and do some massive damage to that P2, and by massive I mean a whole 5%. As we're going to swap out here, we're going to go very aggressively into Sneasel. I said in the team builder, I thought Sneasel had a beautiful matchup. We're going to get Sneasel in prime position to just click knock off, and I really want to knock off this P2's Eviolite. This thing is so annoying for us, and I always hate facing P2, so I'm just going to click knock off. I have no second thoughts about it. He has no switch-ins. If he wants to go into the Melodic, then so be it, we'll knock off its item. But he decides to go into the Lottie there, which didn't make sense to me. We're gonna do like 55% to the Lottie. We're gonna find out we find out so much about the Lottie just from that attack, and we have no reason not to click knock off again. He goes into Melodic this time, and we're gonna find out a lot about Melodic too. We knock off, and good lord, Sneasel is a monster. We do 50% to that Melodic, and we find out it's a Flame Orb set, so it is gonna be Marble Scale. No Leftovers Recovery. I am fine with that. We're going to go out into Decidueye. This is our answer to this Melodic. I assumed he was going to recover, as he does, and we get a free switch into our Decidueye. Now, I expected him to probably switch out into the Lottie, expecting the Leaf Blade, so I had to go for the U-turn, the aggressive U-turn, as he decides to stay in, and I was like, okay, cool, what's he click here? It doesn't matter, we're going to go Goodra. Goodra's got no purpose. I don't care what happens to you, Mac, you get out there and do your thing. He's also got Thunderbolt, so that's something. But he goes for the Toxic, and I'm like, cool. Wish we had Sylveon to get rid of this Toxic. Wouldn't that be beautiful? But Goodra's going to get Toxic there, unfortunately. But I'm going to make an aggressive double here. I expected him to go into, what was it, the P2? I expected him to go into the P2, so I'm going to make an aggressive switch here, back out into Sneasel, because I was like, yes, we're in prime position to click knock off again. He's going to stay in and click recover, which confused me a lot. Maybe he expected me to be offensive Goodra. I suppose that is a possibility for sure. But that confused me a lot. So we're going to hard switch out Kobe because I don't want to get Scald burned. I'm not crazy. We're going to go back out into Maku, expecting either the Scald or the Toxic, and he is going to go for the Toxic there. So that's fine by me. We are just in a bad position here. I'm like, why is he not switching? Switch your Melodic out. It's not the best wall in the world. Switch it out. So we decided to switch out again, and we go into Rust this time just in case he wanted to click Scald there, click whatever. Rust is the answer to this thing. So he's going to go for Ice Beam, and it's going to do a big body chunk to it. It's going to do about a little bit under half, and probably about 48-ish%, as we are going to get Leftovers Recovery there. We're going to be sitting at about I don't know, that's like maybe 60%, as I'm gonna go for Leaf Blade. He's clearly leaving the Melodic in for whatever reason, so we're just gonna click Leaf Blade on this thing, and we're gonna do like an insane amount of damage to this thing. As he goes for the Ice Beam, I don't know if this was offensive Melodic or what. I was just clicking buttons and not really doing calcs on the Melodic, so I was like, please just switch this stupid thing out. So we're in a good position here to where we can just click Roost. He's at about 40%. There's no way he's living another Leaf Blade. We can click Roost to get some health back. If he clicks Recover, we're in a fine position. We can KO him either the next turn or the turn after with Leaf Blade. We're doing a consistent amount of damage to where our Roosts are better than his Recovers, because he can't do as much damage to us as we're doing to him. We actually gain health. He does not gain health. Because we do more than 50 with Leaf Blade. He does about 45 to 50 with Ice Beam. So we're in a good position, and we've also got leftovers, so we're in a fine position there. So I decided there were absolutely zero downsides to clicking Roost here. I could have also hard U-turned, but I was like, we're not making that mistake again. Wish I did, because there's the Lottie, but we're going to go for this thick Roost here, and we are going to get all of our HP back, and by all of it, I mean half. And we're going to get back up to a respectable 105 HP or something, 107, something like that. 108, I was close. But we're gonna hard switch out here into Gudra, because I was like, if he wants to drop the Z, fine, go ahead, let's see it. If he wants to recover, fine, let's see it. We've got Draco, and we have a pretty good shot at Ogal this Lottie if he's 252 HP, or if he's any HP investment. So he is gonna drop the Z Drake here, and this is gonna tell us so much about this Lottie. We obviously already knew it was Z. We knew that it had well, now we know it's Z Drake, so when he hit this, I was like, okay, well, this is going to do a big chunk to Gudra. Maybe we'll be able to get a hit off. I don't think so after Z Draco plus Draco, but you can see how little of damage this does. And this was Z Dragon Pulse. This wasn't Z Draco. And by that damage, we can easily live another one. So I was like, okay, we can go for Ice Beam here, or we can go for Draco. He recovers. Draco was a roll to kill, even if he was at max HP. Depending on his HP investment, I didn't ask him his HP investment, but we're gonna go Draco here, and I don't know if he was like a lot of HP investment or what was going on there, but we do land the Draco, and we do not quite pick up the KO. Maybe it would have been smarter to Ice Beam. I don't really know. I thought it was a roll to kill, so I just clicked Draco, but Gudra, at this point in the match, Gudra's useless. I should have sacked it off, but I didn't want him getting a free recover off, and we didn't die to the next Toxic. So I was like, okay, well, we'll just hard switch out into Kobe, because that's a free knockoff. So we're going to hard switch out here. I really wish I would have just let Gudra go down and click Draco again, because if it was a roll to kill when he was at 100, it was probably a roll to kill when he was at about 50. So we're going to go into Sneasel here as he clicks Dragon Pulse. Ooh, that's not at all what I expected. I expected either Side Shock or Recovers, so now Sneasel's sitting a little bit lower than I would have liked, but we get a free knockoff off, and we basically pick up a KO with Sneasel, and he decides to give us Lottie, which is absolutely fine by me. So he decides to go into the Crocodile here, knowing that we're locked into knockoff, excuse me. And I'm absolutely fine with this. We can just switch out here. We need to save Sneasel because Sneasel is a really good win con, and we can sack off Gudra here, no problem. Gudra was the sack piece at this point in the match. So he goes for the EQ. So maybe it was better that I saved Gudra, I guess, because we could sack it to this Crocodile, and we didn't really have a sack otherwise. So we're going to let Gudra go down here, and I'm fine with this. If we can get in either Sneasel again and click Icicle Crash, or we can go into Mega Gallade, Prince Bel Air, as I did do, obviously, and we can click Swords Dance. Now, my whole goal, I realized we were down, and when I realized we were down by so much, I kicked into overdrive. My brain was like, okay, we gotta win this. There's no way we can lose. I do not want to lose. So I was like, we gotta get everything in position to die to Mega Gallade. And I forgot Chinchino was faster when I sent Mega Gallade in, and it was normal type, so it didn't get affected by Shadow Sneak. So I was like, oh yeah, we can click Swords Dance here and we win the game. So he stays in, actually, which tells me that he's either Scarf or Chopple. So we Mega Evolve there, bonk, and I don't know why I got blurry there all of a sudden, but we're gonna Swords Dance here, and we're gonna Swords Dance up because I forgot Chinchino was a Mon. And we're going to be in a good position here to basically click close combat and pick up a KO. He does stay in, does reveal that he's not Scarf, so he is 100% Chopple. There are zero doubts in my mind. You would not sack a Crocodile with a Decidueye in the back, and this is your answer to Decidueye. So he's going to swap out here, and we're going to be able to click close combat and pick up a KO. He decides to give us Melodic, very, very smart. Melodic didn't have any purpose left in this game, in my opinion. I don't think he was ever getting a recover off on any of our Mons left. Sneasel would have hurt it so bad with Knock. I think it would have killed. So good sack on his part, but now we're at -1, and he can basically just go into Chinchino and click a button. and basically guarantee a KO. If he clicks U-turn, Glade's dead. I decide, okay, Decidueye is the least useful member now. We're gonna have to win this game with literally Mega Glade and Sneasel. So we go into Decidueye here as he is going to click a U-turn. I was hoping maybe we catch him with the tail slap. I don't know. But he's going to go for U-turn here, and he is Life Orb. I didn't point that out earlier because I forgot about it. But he goes U-turn here, and he's going to swap out into Denzel Curry, which is P2? Is the Crocodile. And at this point, he clicks knockoff and claims a KO. And Sneasel and Mega Glade, like I said, are way too important to sack off. We absolutely need those two Pokemon. So I decide it's time to go to Decidueye, and I let Decidueye get knocked off. And I was almost Culver. I almost brought Culver this game, but we are going to die to the knockoff there, which sucks. It does suck to lose Decidueye, and we've only got 2 Mons left, and they've got to pull through. So I decide he's definitely Chapel. We've got to go Kobe, and we've got to lock in Icicle Crash. His Icicle Crash resist is dead. We get some big damage off on whatever he wants to send in. He's going to sack off the Mega Diancie here, which makes a lot of sense. It wasn't really doing much left in this game. Actually, it wasn't doing anything left in this game because Sneasel outsped, and we had Shadow Sneak on Mega Glade, which I believe KO'd if he was no HP investment, maybe. But Mega Diancie is going to go down there. Good sack on Tony's part for sure. And now we're in a position to where Sneasel looks really good in this game. He's going to go out into the P2. Very, very scary Mon at this point in the match. Very hard to break. I'm going to hard switch into Mega Glade, expecting him to go for a Toxic. Why do I say it like that? A Toxic or a Recover, something like that. As he is going to reveal that he goes for Facade. And I was like, oh boy, how much damage is this going to do? Mega Glade hangs on a 9. Our boy Mega Glade can just click close combat and pick up a KO here. He decides to give us Chinchino. Chinchino actually won the game. I just wanted to get the differential closer. I knew that I couldn't beat Chinchino, but he decides to sack off Chinchino. We didn't have Icicle Shard or Ice Shard on Sneasel. We didn't have max speed on Sneasel, so he gave us the Mon that actually won the game for him, as long as he hit his tail slaps. So when that happened, I was like, wait, we can win this game. We can win this game. He goes into Crocodile. And I know this stupid thing is Scarf, or it's not Scarf, it's Chapel. There's no way it's not, but I can't sack off Sneasel, because if I do, he's still got the Chapel, and we can't Oko. So we're in a position to where I just have to click close combat and get off as much damage as possible, and Sneasel's got to pull through. Sneasel's got to pull through. Who is a girl, by the way? It's supposed to be a boy. But he didn't get me with the Chapel. I knew he had Chapel, but I literally had no other play besides to close combat. So Mega Glade is going to go down, but he did his work. He did his work this game. He got 2 KOs. We're going to go into Kobe here, and we got to lock in Icicle Crash. It's our strongest hitting move. It'll KO the Crocodile, and depending on his investment on the P2, it can 2-shot, but it will likely 3-shot, assuming he has any amount of defense investment, like Fizz Def investment. So down goes the Crocodile. I could have... Knockoff wouldn't have killed the Crocodile, so I guess I couldn't have locked into that. But he's going to go into P2 here. We know his move set. He's Facade, Toxic, Recover, and then we don't know his last move, I guess. But we're going to lock into Icicle Crash here. It's 2 or 3 hit KO depending on his investment, and based on this damage, it's a 3-hit KO, and he's going to flinch. He's going to flinch. So we're in a good position here. Sneasel just has to pull through, get a couple more flinches. We're going to Icicle Crash here. And Tony makes a good play. And I don't know why my brain stopped. And obviously that's a 3-hit KO. He clicks Recovery here. So I was like, oh, I forgot that's a move. I thought we just won because he couldn't KO us with the Facade. But it was actually a roll. Funny story. But he's going to go Protect here, and he's going to try the PP stall our Icicle Crashes. And I want you guys to know, if we got PP stalled for game, if he won this because we ran out of Icicle Crashes, we don't run out of Icicle Crashes, by the way, but if he won this because of us running out of Icicle Crashes, I would have been very tilted. I would have been extremely upset. But we are going to get another flinch here, so this is I don't feel bad about these flinches at all because he's trying to PP stall us. I really don't. It's part of the game, I guess. Kobe's trying his hardest to pull through here, so he's going to click Protect again. We're going to go Icicle Crash. We need a big flinch to win the game here, or he's going to click Recover once more, one of the two. So we are going to Icicle Crash, and he lives on just barely any health, and he's going to click Recover, so I was like, great. He's going to try to PP stall us a little bit more, which at this point I was just like, just come on, dude, like, come on. You click Facade, and it's either, you click 2 Facades, you kill us, basically, is how this game goes. Or you just keep clicking Recover, I guess. Like, I hate the Protect stall. I don't know. That's just me. I wouldn't have ever like been super mad at Tony, obviously, because Tony's a really good friend of mine, but I hate PP stall so much, dude. I don't care. I would rather take the L than PP stall, personally, but we're gonna Icicle Crash, and we're gonna flinch him, and that is basically gonna seal the game as long as we can land one more Icicle Crash, and Sneasel, Kobe pulled through with like 4 out of 6 flinches, or 3 out of 6 or 4 out of 7. It was something like that. So Kobe Sneasel pulling through with those icicle crashes and not missing too, because we got those glasses on. We've got 20/20 vision. Sneasel pulls through, picks up the KO on P2, and we get that dub. Did we deserve this dub? No. No, we did not. However, I did misclick on the Sylveon, which sucked a lot, and I think that we could have, it would have been a whole different game if we had kept our Sylveon alive, I really do believe. So, we do pick up the dub there against Tony. GG to Tony. Make sure to check out his link in the description below. But that was definitely a fun game, and I really enjoy using Sneasel. Fun fact, I told Owen, or I made transactions. I was going to drop Tentacruel and Sneasel for Blastoise and Zoroark, because Blastoise in Tier 4 is a steal in my opinion. But I told Owen if Sneasel got at least 3 kills this game, I was canceling that transaction, and we were going to drop Tentacruel and Nihilego for Toxapex, as well as, I think it was Porygon Z. And as you saw, Sneasel got 4 kills that game, so Sneasel's staying on the squad. We're dropping Tentacruel and Nihilego for Toxapex and PZ, which is going to be awesome. We needed a physical wall that was not weak to fire. That got pointed out to me so much, so me and Owen did like little practice versus, and Inte destroyed me, so that is what we're rocking with now. But GG to Tony again, that was definitely a good way to start off the season. Very close game, very fun game. That's it for me here, guys. I had to re-record this 2 times. Hopefully, I don't have to re-record this again. I'll be kind of a little bit upset if I do. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys with week 2 of NCP Nimbus next week. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.